Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
What's on your mind, Cayman? If you're ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Discussing current events and local news, community spotlights, hot topics, listener stories, cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. Cayman, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your guest host,
Charles Glidden.
Coming up next, the National Drug Council's Alcohol Awareness Campaign. And later, we hear about the Caymanians' First Charitable Foundation. Of course, we'll have some open lines so you can tell us what's on your mind. Talk Today is next on Radio Cayman. 50 years strong. Stay with me.
Talk Today is reminding you
to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
And now, back to Talk Today.
Good afternoon. This is Talk Today. I'm Charles Glidden. I'm glad that you could join us. And I hope your week is going well. I guess anytime you have a 4-day week, the week is good, right? That's a positive right there. That's one notch that we can put up. Well, this afternoon, congratulations are in order to none other than Gloria McField. She is the newly appointed Deputy Governor, and that is the official word from Her Excellency, the Governor, Jane Owen. I know a lot of people were rooting for Gloria McField to be appointed Deputy Governor, and hey, you got it. I guess those people are happy this afternoon. So Gloria McField will be the new Deputy Governor with the retirement of the Honorable France Manderson. So congratulations to her. Looks like women keep moving up, right? We've been hearing a lot about the National Drug Council in their campaign to make people more aware about the risk of alcohol and using alcohol. It is Alcohol Awareness Month, and this afternoon I'm joined by Angela Seeley. She's the Program Manager of the National Drug Council, Anna Clark, Program Support Officer with NDC, and also Jason Dunkley with the Department of Counseling Services. Folks, good afternoon. Welcome to our studio.
Good afternoon to you.
So how has this campaign been going?
So our campaign just started the 1st of April, and we have been doing a lot of social media messaging, as well as messaging on the billboards that High Impact has, the Cost You Less TVs, and the TVs at the SO station. So we're just at the beginning stages right now, but so far it has been going. We've got a good response from the public.
Does the National Drug Council look at alcohol as a drug?
It's not that we look at it as a drug at the National Drug Council. Alcohol is a drug.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say that it is probably the only drug that is legal. You can go buy alcohol, you can go buy drugs, but any kind of chemical that stimulates or affects your brain becomes a drug. And in many cases, we do not think of alcohol as being a drug because it's so accessible to persons. Our campaign this year is looking at how alcohol impacts the brain. So we often look at the physical effects of alcohol and forget that, alcohol does has a critical impact on our brain and the way we function and the way we behave. And, in some cases, it alters our brain chemistry. And that then has many other impacts. So, yes, it is definitely a drug.
Well, interesting that you say it is a drug. It's not a matter of how you view it, because I've heard, people who drink their fair share of alcohol look down at somebody who may be into drugs, like they're the superior person because they only use alcohol. But this person, he's using drugs, right? Do you find that attitude?
You want to take that one?
Yes.
Jason?
So I think where we see that at the Department of Counselling Services is where people substitute alcohol for their drug use. So they may be using another type of drug, be it marijuana, for example. And then maybe they manage to come off marijuana and say, well, I don't smoke anymore, I'm only drinking. And that's not as bad. Yeah. And it's quite difficult to get them to make that leap. It's actually, well, there isn't actually any difference to what you're doing, because one's socially acceptable and the other isn't.
So what will be the push during April to bring about more awareness?
So the push for April, as I said, we are doing a lot of messaging on our social media. We are partnering with Department of Counselling Services. They have a monthly lunch and learn, and they have agreed to partner with us, to collaborate with us, to get this information, this awareness out through their campaign. So we're very thankful for Department of Counselling Services for coming on and really supporting this. From the National Drug Council's perspective, we're not counselors, we're not mental health experts, so we engage organizations, departments such as the Department of Counselling Services to kind of help and, spread the awareness in that area there.
What would you say the mission of the National Drug Council is?
The mission of the council?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the mission generally of the council is to provide information. So we've taken a preventative approach. And the prevention starts by going into the schools. So we go into the schools as early as primary, and we provide prevention education.
Yes.
But not at the primary level or at the secondary level talking about drugs or alcohol. We're talking about, the ways that substances impact your body, your mind, and how to be able to make choices so that when you do get or in a situation whereby you are confronted with, someone maybe just asking you to take more or drink more than you could, or you're getting into a vehicle and you recognize that that person is maybe intoxicated, that you are in a position to make sound choices. So really, we really start at a very early age to help young people understand that, you have a choice, and that don't come when you're an adult, right?
Jason, among the people that you see,
mm-hmm.
how much is alcohol a major factor with your clients?
I couldn't tell you in terms of numbers. I could just tell you that with the majority of our clients, alcohol is in some way involved. That's not to say that the majority of our work is alcohol intervention. I would say that when we're addressing mental health issues, at some point or another, alcohol does play a part. And it might be only if it's moderate drinking that's serving as some kind of way of avoiding or some kind of dealing with a mild mental health issue, to the other end of the extreme where we are working with alcoholism. So it's on a spectrum, but more often than not, alcohol does play a part in people presenting with mental health issues.
We have to take a little break here, but we'll be right back.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter will be taking appointments from April 13 to 17 at his Crew Road Clinic. Appointment slots are limited. Whether you're seeking advanced skincare, Botox, filler, cosmetic enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email dr.porterkman@gmail.com or call 946-9020 to book your appointment today. That is 946-9020.
Do you know a Caymanian living and working overseas who's doing big things and making us proud? Cayman Connection has officially opened nominations for the 2026 Making Waves Awards, celebrating Caymanians who are making a positive impact around the world. If you're thinking about somebody right now, it's no time like the present to nominate them and give them the recognition they deserve. The process is simple and doesn't take too long. Just visit caymanconnection.org/nominate. Nominations close April 13th. It's time to big up our people. Do it today.
Are you ready to be inspired? Calling all marketers, creatives, and visionaries. Join SIMPA's 12th annual marketing conference, Level Up, Marketing's New Formula, happening April 17th and 18th at Hotel Indigo. Discover the latest trends in marketing innovation, sharpen your skills in hands-on workshops, and connect with global industry leaders who are changing the game. Plus, celebrate the best of Cayman's marketing and creative professionals at the SIMPA Awards Gala, honoring the brightest minds in the field. Don't miss out. Secure your tickets now at simpa.ky.
Brought to you by the Department of Tourism, Airview Media, DART, Health City, Compass Media, Armada Films, Signs of Paradise, Caribbean Creations, the Department of Communications, and Radio Cayman.
Happy 50th anniversary, Radio Cayman. Radio Cayman has been in my life for seems like forever. I grew up listening to talk shows, to series, and there was no television, but Radio Cayman was there. Radio Cayman has been with us for 50 years. They are a trusted source, especially during hurricanes and other events. Having their calm voice to keep us informed and guide us through major events has been outstanding. So I want to give a big thank you to Radio Cayman, the entire team. Happy 50th anniversary.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. And we are hearing about the National Drug Council's Alcohol Awareness Month campaign. And in the studio with me is Angela Seeley. She's the program manager of the National Drug Council, Anna Clark, program support officer with NDC, and Jason Dunkley. He is the clinical supervisor at the counseling center. So is this a sort of new partnership that the National Drug Council and the counseling center, or has this been going on for a while?
I think we've collaborated, in the past quite a little bit. Maybe not as often as we'd like, but it definitely does happen.
Let's talk a little bit about the short-term and long-term effects of alcohol use. I mean, I know a lot of people, it's almost traditional or a custom. You know, it's like, after the long, hard day, you have a drink. If you're starting there, where can... What any consequences to that?
So I think when you're drinking responsibly, and when we say drinking responsibly, we're talking about 1 or 2 drinks of an evening. Then there may be some very short-term health, negative health impacts, but nothing that can't be repaired, nothing that your body can't handle. As soon as we start to go over that, and as soon as we kind of go into the drinking excessively, so when I say excessively, we're thinking 4 or 5 drinks, which actually... let's be real, that's not a lot to some people. But as far as our body's concerned, that is excessive drinking, and that's where we start to see some of the longer-lasting detrimental impacts. And then beyond that, that's where we start getting beyond the realms of into the realms of dependence on alcohol.
Give us an idea of the progression from that social drink to excessive drinking.
I think the progression can happen for lots of different reasons. So maybe it's just worth emphasizing that the progression can happen very easily. So for whatever the reason, healthy drinking, recommended drinking, isn't a lot of alcohol. So we're talking literally one beer, maybe two, and then stopping at that. So for a lot of people, that one or two beers is very easy to turn into three. And when it gets more social, it's just there's so many things that are kind of impacting our decisions to drink more and making it difficult for us to make choices, as you were saying earlier on. Where the progression, without having the right people around you or having the right set of boundaries and values for yourself, it's very easy for us to slip into excessive drinking.
Some people feel like they need to get a little tipsy to get loose socially, right? I mean, that's always an excuse you hear?
Yeah, so that's where we start thinking about, really thinking about what alcohol use is about. And that's what I like to kind of say, we need to reframe alcohol use as symptomatic of something else. A lot of the times when we look at alcohol use, we see alcohol as the problem. But alcohol isn't the problem, alcohol is a symptom. So it may be that in a social situation, I really struggle. I might feel really anxious, or I'm very self-conscious, and all of a sudden I have this magic drink, which makes me the life and soul of the party and much more relaxed. Yeah. So the issue is actually that needs to be addressed isn't alcohol use, it's what was making me drink in the first place. Yeah, and so there's lots of other excuses or reasons that lead to the alcohol use. Unless we deal with those reasons, the alcohol use is always going to be there.
So when you have a client like that, what do you say to them?
So the work that we do is really looking at the underlying cause of any kind of drug misuse. If we really focus on reducing the drinking and harm reduction, it's almost like a sticking plaster. It will help, and there will be some health benefits to that, but something is always going to come back. It might be the alcohol use might come back, or it might be another vice or another way of coping. Unless we deal with what's making me want to drink in the first place, I'm not really addressing the problem.
So when you have a few drinks to have a good time, to feel better, the next day is not always that positive, right?
That's right. And so that's one of the short-term negative impacts of alcohol misuse. So sure, it might be this Easter or come your birthday or come Christmas time, we're going to have a few drinks and more than we should, and we'll feel the negative impact of that the next day. If we continue to do that, that's when it becomes problematic.
So what are some of the long-term effects of excessive drinking?
So there's physical impact it has on our body, specifically our liver and our brain. Psychologically, there's a lot of mental health issues. Ironically, people tend to talk about drinking because they feel anxious and depressed, whereas a lot of the times alcohol will be causing the depression and the anxiety. And then there's a social impact as well of long-term drinking. So, if I'm drinking heavily for a long time, what impact does that have on my family, my friends, my community, in the workplace, how I function in society? So am I making good choices in society? So there's those kinds of impacts to consider as well.
People drink a lot in Cayman.
People drink a lot everywhere.
You think? No, so Cayman doesn't have any monopoly on it. But I mean, it always strikes me when I go to the recycling drop-off place, and they have the special bins for the bottles. If you look in there,
tells a story.
Yeah, it's almost, I would say it must be 90% alcohol bottles in those bins. Well, you said we don't have a monopoly on it, but is there any more of a problem here than any other place?
I can only speak from my personal experience and in the places I've worked, and I would say no. I would say alcohol use is just so culturally and socially acceptable and normalized that wherever we go, people are going to celebrate with alcohol. You know, they're going to commiserate with alcohol. They're going to relax with alcohol because, as you said earlier, it's so easily accessible.
Now, Anna, you were telling me that there's going to be an event coming up hosted by Counseling Services. Let's hear more about that.
So back in February, when we started to plan for this campaign, of course, we reached out to, you know, different departments, different organizations and foundations, and Department of Counseling Service jumped right on, and they said, definitely, this is something that we want to be a part of. And they host a monthly lunch and learn, and their lunch and learn for the month of April is going to be focusing on our theme, the silent cost of alcohol on health and wellness. It's next week, Wednesday, April 15th, and it's from 12 to 1 p.m. Okay?
So who could come to this?
Lunch and Learn is open to absolutely everybody. So anybody who's interested in learning more about healthy use of alcohol and the negative impacts of alcohol is welcome to come along. We're at Adonis House, which is 75 Fort Street. So you can come along at 12 o'clock. Ideally, if you could let us know you're coming and register, you can give us a call on 949-8789 or email us on counselling.services.gov.ky. Because we're providing lunch, so we want to make sure everybody gets fed. Yeah. But if you just want to turn up, that's great.
It's a free lunch?
It is absolutely free lunch, yes. Yeah. No alcohol though.
No. Yes, and also on our social media pages, we do have the flyer, and they also have the flyer which has the barcode, the scan, that if people want to just go on our pages and scan it, and they can do the registration that way as well.
So they can reserve a seat that way.
That's right.
Yeah. So at this luncheon, give us an idea of what people will hear, what they'll experience.
So from our perspective, we will give just some general education on what a standard drink is in terms of alcohol, because we talk about drinking and having one or two drinks, but what does that actually mean? So people will come away with an understanding of how to accurately measure their alcohol, more accurately measure their alcohol use. And then we'll go into more detail about the things you've been talking about this afternoon, the social impacts of alcohol, the health impact of alcohol, and some of the underlying causes of alcohol use as well. And we'll also give some guidance on where to go should people want more support.
So, I mean, when you have a person who is an alcoholic, do you refer them to, say, Alcoholics Anonymous, or you try and deal with it there at the counseling center?
We do both. So we give the client the option. So we have several treatment programs for people with drug and alcohol misuse issues, as well as individual treatment. So you can either come along to the Department of Counseling Services and get one-to-one treatment. We have 3 separate groups for different levels of alcohol misuse that we can refer you into. And in addition to that, we also recommend people going to Alcohol Anonymous as well.
Time for another break here, and we'll continue our discussion after these messages.
Enjoy an evening of music with Spirit of Harmony, a John Gray Memorial Church concert, Saturday, April 18th at 6:30 p.m. An impressive lineup including local a cappella group The Stingrays, Glenn Inanga, Hannah Shen, Emily Mowbray, and more. Free for all to attend, with a special offering in support of Lila Nell Ebanks Music Fund. The Spirit of Harmony, Saturday, April 18th, 6:30 p.m. at the John Gray Memorial Church in West Bay.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Kim and Brack and Little Cayman. poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Pneumonia, meningitis, and serious bloodstream infections can all be life-threatening to infants and young children, but protection is available. Under the updated National Immunization Schedule, the pneumococcal vaccine is now given in just 2 doses at 2 and 6 months, providing strong protection while reducing the number of shots. Vaccination helps the body recognize these bacteria and prevents serious illness, helping to keep the whole community protected. Keep your child and others safe. Ask your healthcare provider about the updated schedule today. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, Environment and Sustainability and the Public Health Department.
This April, experience more than fashion. Experience culture, creativity, and community. Cayman In Style Fashion Week 2026 returns April 23rd to the 26th. A 4-day celebration of innovation, wellness, and global excellence. From the Global Fashion Summit to the Bridal Couture Exhibition, runway shows, and the Trailblazer Awards Gala, where ideas, talent, and opportunity meet. Supporting youth through the Creative Fashion School and sustainability through Protect Our Future. Get your tickets now at CaymanInStyleFashionWeek.com. Cayman In Style Fashion Week 2026, where culture meets creativity.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we have a WhatsApp caller on the line. So let's go to the phones. Good afternoon, you're on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon, Chalo.
Good afternoon.
Okay, you still have your guests there?
Yeah, they're here.
Okay. Yeah, well, concerning Caribbean Haven.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the rules in Caribbean Haven is that if 2 brothers want to get into the program at the same time, it's not allowed. And if 2 sisters want to get into the program at the same time, it's not allowed. They have certain rules and regulations there concerning that. And that can become dangerous because both brothers or both sisters might need help immediately. And to deny one help could be very dangerous for that one that is denied help. So the government needs to build at least 2 more Caribbean havens. I would recommend another one in Georgetown and another one in West Bay. And drug and alcohol abuse in Cayman has only gotten worse. So it's not that these things aren't needed. These facilities are needed. And Caribbean Haven has helped a lot of people and continues to help a lot of people. And because of certain situations people are facing in life today, such as the cost of living alone, that causes a lot of stress, depression, and anxiety, can lead a lot of people into drugs and alcohol abuse. Thank you.
Well, thanks for the call. You take care. Do you work with Caribbean Haven?
Yes,
with
we do.
Some of your clients?
Yes, so Caribbean Haven is part of the Department of Counselling Services. And the call is correct. They do a lot of great work. And I think he also makes a good observation that drug and alcohol misuse in Cayman, is a growing challenge. So any support we can get with improving our resources and providing more wider services to the people of Cayman will be, greatly appreciated and is greatly needed.
You have any insight into that rule, that restriction that he was talking about? The 2 siblings can't go there at the same time yet.
So that isn't something I'm personally familiar with, but I'd be happy to get some more information about that.
Okay. Let's talk about the observed impact of alcohol misuse in Cayman. What does that mean?
So with the observed impact, it's more or less about how my excessive use of alcohol is going to impact the people around me, impact my life, impact my well-being and the well-being of others. So it's really understanding that a person drinking excessively, a person doesn't exist in a bubble. Everyone is connected to a network of people. So anyone's excessive drinking is going to impact the people that they're connected to. So it's not just that individual's welfare we need to think about, well, how is that affecting the home life of the children that are observing this behaviour? How is it impacting the people that might be depending on that person's income? How is it impacting the country in terms of, the increase in criminal activity that's been influenced by poor choices due to alcohol misuse, and that comes with a cost. That comes with a personal cost and a financial cost to the individual and to the country as well. So it's really understanding that alcohol misuse has a really widespread effect on people and society.
So it's a sort of domino
Absolutely,
effect.
yeah.
And relationships, I mean, that's
100%, yeah.
That's impacted.
Yeah.
Almost in every case, I would think.
Right. So that's probably the first place you would actually see alcohol having a negative impact. So whether it's in your family relationships or your romantic relationships, the people closest to you are going to get hurt by it first.
One of the points here is saying reframing alcoholism as a symptom.
That's right.
Is that as opposed to a fault or a weakness?
Right, exactly, yeah. So it's kind of, we do talk about alcoholism as an illness, and I'm not adverse to looking at it that way. But I think another helpful way of looking at alcohol misuse is understanding that if someone is drinking, it's because of something else. Yeah, there's always going to be another reason why someone is drinking excessively. And if I can understand that and accept that, it helps me come towards that person with a lot more compassion, because all of a sudden the judgment is gone. Because like I said earlier, I'm not judging them because of what they've done through alcohol or the choices they've made through alcohol, because now I've got a better understanding. It's like, okay, well, actually, the trauma in your past has got a lot to do with why you're drinking, yeah? Or the stresses you've got going on at the minute in terms of finances, in terms of family, have got a lot to do with why you're drinking. I can relate to that. It's a lot easier for me to be compassionate. I might not be able to relate to alcohol misuse, but I can relate to some of the challenges of life that you might be experiencing.
Do some people become alcoholics because of hereditary, the genes? Do you see that it runs in families?
So what the research tells us is that genetically there can be a predisposition to alcoholism, but that doesn't mean you will become an alcoholic. So genetically it might be that if I pick up a drink, genetically I'm more likely to become dependent on that drink, but my genes aren't going to tell me to go and drink.
It still comes down to a personal choice.
Absolutely. Right. And that personal choice is influenced by a lot of things.
You mentioned that you go into the schools to offer this awareness and educate young people. Are young people a big part of your focus?
Yes. At the National Drug and Alcohol, at NDC, yes. So our focus predominantly, we are in the schools from primary level, and we conduct sessions at the various grade levels, and that goes right through from primary into secondary. And then obviously we do community education. So while we may run campaigns, we also provide educational sessions to parents. And that kind of ties in a lot with then to help them understand that they probably need to get further help. So we don't do the clinical work, hence the reason we partner with the Department of Counseling Services, so they would conduct the clinical aspect of the work.
And I would think the parents' attitude and use of alcohol will be modeled by their children.
Right. I mean, we've had situations whereby young adults have reported that they started drinking, and I would want to say carelessness. So a child may open the refrigerator and see a bottle that looks like apple juice and drink it, and they become intoxicated, but then they go back. So sometimes it is trauma, it is family habits, it is what becomes a normal part of reality in that home that could lead to, the use of alcohol. And at the NDC, we talk a lot to young people about the developing brain, and that if they can keep substances out of their body and brain up until the age of 25, they're less unlikely to have a lot of psychosis, like mental health issues or so forth. So we kind of give them that information. And on the other hand, we're also providing families with that information. Because as it's been said, some families think it's quite normal to have a drink. And many, we see it in movies and so forth. If there's an issue, if there's a breakup, where do the actor go? To the bar and have a good old few drinks, right? So we start thinking, okay, that is the way we go. We get tired, or we've had a long day. We may go to the bar, we may go home, and we may turn to a drink and say, okay, this is going to relax me. But in terms of relaxation, there's other factors.
On the other end is the people who a glass of wine with dinner is the norm for them, and that's pretty much where it ends.
Yes,
yes. And is that what you would term healthy alcohol use?
Yes, so that would be the recommended use of alcohol, yeah.
One glass.
So you just get the one.
But then it becomes a social thing. So you would have the one glass, you may have conversation. But to drink excessively one after the other, then it is becoming more than just a social drinker. You are heading towards becoming an alcoholic, or there are issues. So as was said, you need to find out what are the issues. Yeah.
How would you characterize the attitude of young people these days toward alcohol? Has it changed from, say, 20 years ago? Or people still like to party with some alcohol?
Well, I think the alcohol, I don't think that has changed, because alcohol is available. Once you've, I would like to say, reached the legal age, you can go and purchase alcohol freely, right? So I think from time immemorial, drinking and bootlegging alcohol and so forth was just a part of reality.
Yeah, it is a part of culture.
And it's right in the Caribbean. You're exposed to seeing or being around alcohol from a very, very young age.
And I guess in UK, the US, it's all the same also. We're running a little short here, so let's make sure we hear about the event that make people have the details again.
Okay, so it's the Department of Counseling Service. It's their Lunch and Learn. It's next week, Wednesday, April 15th from 12 to 1. You can register by going on our social media pages, the National Drug Council or the Department of Counseling Services. There's a flyer there that you can scan, or you can give the Department of Counseling Services a call.
And real quick recap of what will be presented there.
We will give you some psychoeducation on the impact of alcohol and some guidance on how to drink responsibly.
And some lunch.
Yeah.
Importantly, a free lunch.
Yeah, right.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you all for joining me this afternoon. And thank you for your good work.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
It's coming up on 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock. I'm getting an hour ahead of myself. I'm hungry. I want to go to lunch. It's 1 o'clock. Let's check in with the newsroom.
Yesterday,
today,
always and forever.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
Radio Cayman Headline News. I'm Jevi Ebanks. The RCIPS is relocating the Georgetown Police Station to 19 Eastern Avenue, formerly the One Technology Square building, starting on Monday the 13th of April. All services, including walk-in reports and electronic monitoring check-ins, will move to the new site, along with community policing, scenes of crimes, and other units. The Elgin Avenue station will remain open until 7 a.m. Monday before closing. Visitor parking and accessible entry are available at the new location. In regional news, Belize police have made one of their biggest drug busts in years, seizing $1.6 million worth of marijuana. More than 1,000 pounds were packaged into 29 bags and were found during a raid in Laville, along with a loaded 9mm pistol. Officers are now searching for a suspect already known to them. The operation was led by anti-gang, anti-narcotics, and K9 teams, supported by the new intelligence-driven policing method. Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisesar says a Trinidad and Tobago delegation will soon visit Venezuela to secure the country's share of jointly owned oil and gas resources. The announcement comes as the Energy Chamber projects a potential boost to the natural gas sector from 2027 through regional cooperation and new upstream projects. Energy Minister Rudal Munilal has confirmed discussions with Chevron on energy collaborations. That's your latest headline news. I'm Jevi Ebanks.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter. Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
At HSA, we strive to provide the highest standard of care with compassion, integrity, and dedication. And so we say thank you, Cayman, for continuing to make us the most awarded organization on island by voting us the best of Cayman Islands in 9 medical categories. Your support reminds us why we do what we do, to serve the Cayman community with kindness and excellence. To find out more about our award-winning services, visit hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Although very similar to their Grand Cayman counterparts, organized religion in the Sister Islands was spearheaded by the work of Baptist ministers as opposed to Presbyterian missionaries who started the churches nearly 40 years after that in Grand Cayman. In May of 1885, Reverend J.H. Sobey, minister of the Second Baptist Church of Montego Bay, visited Cayman Brac at the invitation of the Brac seamen. During his visit, Reverend Sobey held the first service in a large house, and it was so overcrowded that the following day a tent had to be erected to have the service. In 1886, Reverend Sobey returned to Cayman Brac with Secretary of the Jamaica Baptist Missionary Society, Reverend E.J. Hewitt, in order to introduce Reverend H.W. Rutty as the Brac missionary worker. Congregations started at various settlements with the construction of 2 chapels in Stake Bay and the Creek. The progress would continue, and 6 months later, Reverend Rutty was ordained as a permanent missionary, and more congregations were formed in Westin, Sport Bay on the east end of the island, and South Harbour in Little Cayman. Reverend Rutty's son and grandson would go on to become Cayman Brac's collector and Chief Justice of the Peace.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Happy 50th anniversary Radio Cayman. What an enormous legacy that has been made by Radio Cayman. God bless all of the employees, past and present, that have made Radio Cayman special. So as we celebrate this 50th anniversary, as we celebrate improvements and renovations to Radio Cayman, let's be thankful for the first 50 years, and Lord willing, ingenuity willing, collaboration willing, another 50 for Radio Cayman. Happy anniversary.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. Let's take a quick look at the weather. It's 84 degrees here in Georgetown, but it feels like 91. And the wind coming out of the northeast at, let's call it 7.5 knots. And the forecast is for partly cloudy skies continuing straight through tonight. Winds are expected to be out of the northeast at 5 to 10 knots. And seas are smooth with wave heights of less than 2 feet. Sunset is at 6:40, so keep the umbrella handy. You might get a little shower or two, but perhaps just a nice afternoon. In our next segment, we learn about a new foundation that, as the name implies, puts Caymanians first. The Caymanians First Charitable Foundation was founded by a Caymanian businessman, Don Seymour, and leading the foundation's mission as its chief executive officer and supervisor is Jewel Hides, who joins me now in the studio. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Chalo, and good afternoon to the Cayman Islands. Thanks for having me today.
Tell us a little bit about how this came about.
Okay.
Well, who planted the seed? Don Seymour, I'm assuming.
Yes, Mr. Seymour certainly planted the seed. This was something he has been thinking about for a while because, as you know, he is a son of the soil and he has seen Cayman at its highest and at its lowest. And during his time as a young man and going to college and university, he always said the only opportunity that was given to him was his beloved mother, Miss Eloise Seymour. And over the years, he has seen that Caymanians do not lack talent. We have a lot of talented Caymanians. What we lack are opportunities for Caymanians to take advantage of their talent. And that is really the seed of this foundation. We believe that our people, the Caymanian people, are the most precious and greatest natural resource that we have. And this foundation is focusing on uplifting Caymanians. We're not just about saying Caymanians are first. We are putting those words into action.
Now, in the press release, Don Seymour is quoted as saying, "Our goal is to create real pathways, not just promises for Caymanians."
Correct.
Expand on that for me.
Yes. What we mean by that, or what Mr. Seymour means by that, is because a lot of the times people will say we are putting Caymanians first, but they don't actually put that into action. We are putting that into action by 3 programs that we are starting off with. And I hope the Cayman Islands is listening because these are some very exciting programs and they will be putting the Caymanians first and elevating Caymanians. The first one I would like to mention, Chalo, is the one called Skills for Success. That is the name of our scholarship program. We have implemented a scholarship program for whether it's higher education or skills-based training. We are willing, in particular for the skills-based training, we are aligning ourselves and are willing to send Caymanians to Miami-Dade Community College. Miami-Dade Community College is ranked number 4. So you're talking about getting a world-class education when it comes to skills-based training. We know that Cayman is a society that we need AC people, we need plumbers. AI is another hot topic that is buzzing around now. So we are willing to help Caymanians to achieve certification so that they can take advantage of their talent. And the best part about the Skills for Success scholarship, there's no age limit. So for example, if there was somebody who was 50 years old and they lost their job and they were say for example, they were a specialist in IT and they lost their job and they want to reskill themselves. This is an opportunity for them as well. So it's not just for the youth and the younger adults. We are prepared and willing to assist older Caymanians as well. And if they find that particular subject is offered on the island and they prefer to do it on the island, because as we know, people have families, people have commitments, and they may not be able to travel to Miami-Dade, we will pay for them to do the course locally as well. So it is a great opportunity, and I encourage all Caymanians to go onto our website, caymaniansfirst.com, look under programs, and you will see the Skills for Success scholarship program. Click apply, and we will deal with your application as soon as we receive it. For now, we are doing what we call a rolling admission. So we're not setting a hard, fast date right now for persons to apply. They can apply because Miami-Dade also has a rolling admission. So we want to be flexible in case there's somebody who wants to say, do the summer program at Miami-Dade Community College. So for right now, it's rolling, and I encourage everyone to visit the website. There's truly something there for everyone.
Well, having started my college career at Miami-Dade, I would fully endorse Miami-Dade. Great community school. So what are some of the other aspects of this?
Yeah. So the other aspect that we are super excited about is one that we call the Eloise cash accounts. And as you would know, Eloise is the name of Mr. Seymour's mother. A lot of the foundation aspects of the foundation are based on what Mr. Seymour's mother taught him, and not only taught him, but taught the people of the Cayman Islands. She was a taxi driver for 45 years. She served this community diligently, and today she is still serving the community. She is still teaching us the importance of hard work. And she had a philosophy. When someone is working hard, that hard work should also come with support. And that is what she did for Mr. Seymour. And we are so proud to have this program for the Caymanians First Charitable Foundation. So the Eloise Cash Program, just to break it down in simple terms, I'm sure you've heard of Trump accounts. So it's a similar concept. We are going to be giving Caymanian newborn babies, starting with 2026, 1,000 CI dollars that will be placed in an account for that child, managed by a locally regulated administrator, and that money is going to be invested on behalf of the child. And when the child reaches 18, because there won't be any withdrawals until 18, parents can contribute during the years and put in money, but Mr. Seymour himself is putting in 1,000. The foundation is putting in 1,000 to start the account off. And it's the hope that when the child reaches 18, that there is a good amount of money in there to give them a good head start in life. As you would know, I can speak for myself. I wasn't blessed to have that, but I had wonderful parents who supported me in my journey. So we're so excited to do this for Caymanians, because at the age of 18, if they want to do a deposit on their first home, if they want to take some of the money to deposit to use for educational purposes or start a business, they are allowed to do that At the age 25, they can take all the money out with no restrictions. But at 18, there are certain restrictions of what the funds can be used for. And I just simply encourage all expectant parents, all Caymanian expectant parents, all Caymanian parents that have had a child starting this year to please go to our website, CaymaniansFirst.com, and you will see the Eloise Cash Accounts program. There's an application form there. Please apply. And, you know, I jokingly say this sometimes, Chalo, when it comes to the Eloise Cash Accounts. We all hear all the time that in Cayman, we don't have enough, you know, Caymanians to fill certain positions. Well, this is an encouragement now to go and let's get some more people and deal with, we can deal with certain immigration things that where Caymanians can fill, roles can fill.
That sounds like, you know, a really fantastic program. But let's make sure we heard you right.
Yes.
Okay. Because let me make sure we got it clear.
Yes.
Every Caymanian child born from this year forward.
Yes, we're starting with 2026. Yeah.
Are eligible to have a cash account of $1,000.
Correct.
Put into in their name.
Yes.
Which will be invested. It's just not going to sit in a savings account.
No, it's not just going to sit there. No.
It'll be invested and will grow over time until they're at least 18 years old.
Correct.
That sounds like something no one should miss out on.
Exactly, and that is why I keep stressing. I've been on several interviews over the last few days and last week as well, to encourage people to, you know, Caymanians to go onto our website. When I say there is something there for everyone, there's truly something there for everyone. And these programs have been thoughtfully crafted because, like we say, Caymanians are talented. They just sometimes cannot take advantage of that talent because of lack of resources.
I'm going to ask you to put on your headphones there. We do have someone on the phone. Okay. So let's take a phone call. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Mr. Glidden and Ms. Hides. Nice to see you.
Good afternoon.
Sounding good. I had a few comments I wanted to make in regards to the revelation of the Miss Eloise's fund there. I'm really, really thrilled to hear that because I saw and reposted some weeks ago about another Caribbean country, the actual government, I think it's Barbados or Bahamas or one of those Bs, they have started putting something like that into place themselves. And I was wondering whether our government would ever come up with something like that. But I'm glad to hear that a son of the soil, Mr. Seymour, and yourself have come together, and everybody else who's on the boards and so forth, to come up with this program. Now, one thing I listened to you at the beginning, when you say Caymanians. Now, I just want to say this, and I'm not trying to be derogatory or prejudiced, but for example, in the States, when people have to apply for such services, I would call them, there's application forms, and not trying to be discriminatory either, but on many forms in the United States, regardless of what they're for, there is areas where you have to identify your status in the country, and so you identify whether you're a citizen by birth most times, or a citizen by naturalization, or permanent residence and that sort of thing. So I am wondering whether there will be any separation as to what type of Caymanian we're talking about, because I have advocated for the definition of citizen, and what's the other word I'm looking for now? There's another word, but there's two different definitions. You're a citizen. You're either born in the country,
naturalized
citizenship, or right. But I'm not using naturalized. There's another word, but it gives the two different definitions when you use the two different words. But it's very curious to know whether there will be that distinction to consider, or whether or not it'll just be Caymanians, meaning anyone that is deemed Caymanian according to the law. The other thing I wanted to ask was whether there's anything set up with Miami-Dade. I think you said Miami-Dade or community college. And I know you referred to age is not in the equation, but is there anything? I guess this will go through when it happens in the application process, but it's always good to know beforehand if there's anything that's in the background where the organization will assist persons who may have difficulties trying to get overseas to Miami-Dade in terms of a visa or an ESTA or whatever. But I guess it would be a student visa. If they don't have permanent residence or U.S. citizenship, they would need a student visa. So I was just wondering if the organization has taken that into consideration. I'm sure they did, but publicly to state. And one thing I wanted to also bring up, Stingray Media used to be DMS Broadcasting, and I want to say that we, as you know, both of you know that Mr. Glidden is in broadcasting and media, and Ms. Jewel is basically all over the place. So both of you are very informed that I don't mean that.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I mean. But we have a lot of very talented, as you said, rightly said, Caymanians here, and I mean indigenous generational Caymanians too. When I say that, and I don't mean to say this in any particular way, so anyone listening don't take it that way, but I was more surprised that we did not have more Caymanians in the DMS broadcasting family. And then the Bobo radio station that was formed for the purchasing of airtime in order for legal residents to take advantage of whatever type of media service they wanted to do on radio. There were not more Caymanians that were involved in that or even given the opportunity. And one thing I would say is that the cost was a little bit unfriendly. I'm going to use that word. And the way that the Bobo was structured, I don't think they had a sufficient enough contract and didn't do enough advertising.
Well, let's try to keep our focus on this program.
Yeah. I'm getting to that, Mr. Glidden. But what I'm saying, this program is about helping Caymanians and getting Caymanians involved in things that will help build their gifts and their talents. And that was one area that I know a lot of talented Caymanians should have been into. So I just want to leave the floor open to say that I hope that this will also open doors for more Caymanians to get involved in that company and take part in this the Stingray Media platforms that are there, and radio host or station host or anything like that, and revamp that program there.
Okay.
But
well, listen, we have a couple other callers that's waiting. Let's see if she can give you some answers to the questions. Thanks for the call.
The first one was she wanted to know if there was going to be a distinction.
Who is Caymanian?
Yeah, who's Caymanian. The application form does address that. There are various categories we have down there that the individuals have to select, like what is their actual status? Is it by birth? Is it, like you said, naturalization and so forth? We have different categories on the form. I think her other question was relating to if the student would need a U.S. student visa and so forth.
Assistance with travelers.
Yeah, the scholarship that we are giving is for tuition fees, travel fees. We know that they have to stay somewhere, so it'll be a rental accommodation and so forth. And then, of course, a ticket to actually get there and get back would be provided. As the foundation goes out, we will be probably reaching out to some other persons who have contacted us directly, say they would be interested in helping. So yes, definitely. And in regards to more Caymanians in the workplace, that is what this is all about. We're not just giving a scholarship and then, okay, the student comes back and there's nothing for them to do. We will be working with corporations and places like Stingray Media to see how we can align the person's study that they went abroad for and align them into an organization. So we're not just ending it by giving the student the opportunity to get a degree or get a skills-based training. We will actually try to be aligning them with a job as well.
That's the pathways.
Yes. Yes.
And we have another caller on the line here. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hello, Chalo.
Hello. Go ahead.
I want to. Hey, I'm real happy Caymanian today, Chalo. I don't know if I will first to mention that for the record with OC. But I've seen it for a while that Gloria McField should be the next deputy governor of the Cayman Islands. And I thank God today that I have lived to see it come true.
All right. A lot of people are.
Yes.
But we're talking about something else right now, okay?
Yeah, I just want to say congratulations to the McField family today, man.
All right. You take care.
Yeah, we'll talk some more.
True. And I think we have another caller there. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi.
Afternoon.
Today, I am truly honored to extend a heartfelt congratulations to this remarkable new charitable organization. And I want to say a big thank you to the founding members, Mr. Don Seymour, and for him to recognize his mother, Miss Eloise Seymour, who for decades, have done so much community service in the Cayman Islands. This is truly an outstanding honor for this foundation to be reflective of her and to be extended to her people, the people of these beautiful islands. I want to say congratulations to Jewel. Hi, who is the Chief Executive Officer and Supervisor. I'm sure she's going to do a phenomenal job. Another strong woman in this country standing up for her people.
Thank you.
What stands out is not just the vision, but the clarity of purpose. You have identified key areas that require attention, areas that will help us build a lasting legacy and creating, meaningful long-term support for the Caymanian community. And this kind of foresight is what transforms good intentions into real impact into our society. And I want to say to the board, the founding member, Ms. Jewel, I have been online. I have gone through what this new foundation this charity is offering the Caymanian community. And I encourage every young Caymanian, go online before she even gets off the air and apply to get a scholarship. Even if it's at Miami-Dade, that you're going to go, that certification is needed. Our population, as a result of not having trade schools in this country, we would have had to know that we would have to provide opportunities for all age groups to ensure that they are upskilled, prepared, and certified to date to be able to function in their capacities, and to also elevate them to higher positions in this country, which is very important. For us to have control, we must also understand what takes us, what it means for us to get there.
Thank you so much.
Said, I want to say to Don Seymour, continue to open up many different areas for Caymanians, because it takes a Caymanian that have made it to reach down and help each other. Not that we are down, but provide the platform for us to stand on. Yes. Give us a real future and a real legacy.
Yes.
We cannot have trade schools where it's a limited number and it has started late, and we must forget generations behind. We must also remember them to bring everybody. If we forget one Caymanian, we have lost a generation. And we are not about to use any persons in our society. We are one people.
Thank
To
you so
do
much
that,
for the call.
this charity is doing amazing things. And again, one quick thing, Charlo. I want to say congratulations to Miss Gloria Maxfield, our new Deputy Governor for the Cayman Islands.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Are you in a rush? Because you're scheduled to 1:30, but
No,
I think we
still,
can carry on a bit.
Yeah, I still have another program.
All right. We're going to take a little break here, but we'll be right back.
Okay.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
CUC's 60th anniversary is coming up, and it's time for a recharge. Mark your calendar for May 1st and join the countdown at empoweringcayman.com.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Are you ready to be inspired? Calling all marketers, creatives, and visionaries. Join SIMPA's 12th annual marketing conference, Level Up, Marketing's New Formula, happening April 17th and 18th at Hotel Indigo. Discover the latest trends in marketing innovation, sharpen your skills in hands-on workshops, and connect with global industry leaders who are changing the game. Plus, celebrate the best of Cayman's marketing and creative professionals at the SIMPA Awards Gala, honoring the brightest minds in the field. Don't miss out. Secure your tickets now at simpa.ky.
Brought to you by the Department of Tourism, Airview Media, DART, Health City, Compass Media, Armada Films, Signs of Paradise, Caribbean Creations, the Department of Communications, and Radio Cayman.
Do you know a Caymanian living and working overseas who's doing big things and making us proud? Cayman Connection has officially opened nominations for the 2026 Making Waves Awards, celebrating Caymanians who are making a positive impact around the world. If you're thinking about somebody right now, it's no time like the present to nominate them and give them the recognition they deserve. The process is simple and doesn't take too long. Just visit caymanconnection.org/nominate. Nominations close April 13th. It's time to big up our people. Do it today.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we are hearing about the Caymanians' first charitable foundation, which was founded by Caymanian businessman Don Seymour, and in the studio is the Chief Executive Officer of Caymanian's first charitable foundation, Jewel Hides. And we do have a caller. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Glidden. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing all right. And you?
I'm fine. And good afternoon to the beautiful young lady there sitting down beside you.
Afternoon, sir.
Yes. You can hear my voice, but I know your mom, dad, and everybody background real good.
Oh, okay.
When I was a young boy, I used to hang out around West Bay a lot. But
okay.
I want to say I knew Miss Eloise quite well. Didn't live far from each other, and she have a beautiful history, and I know her quite well. But I would like to say that I wish that this program that you're all are starting up or have already started up will be for generational Caymanian, because I'll say it this way, maybe people might say I'm prejudiced or whatever, but I feel that the people that come here and became Caymanian would flood that opportunity overwhelming. They would take that opportunity, and a real Caymanian would not get the opportunity of them. So maybe they say if you all try to restrict it that way, you would be prejudiced against the other ones. But this is my opinion, because nobody else has ever thought of anything like this that I heard about before, besides Mr. Seymour. And it should be. It should be. He grew up on Shaden Road, you know.
Okay.
It should be the generational Caymanians, the real ones, and those that would like to have an opportunity like this and really didn't have it. But a question I missed, is it restricted to age groups or?
No, as I was mentioning earlier, like in particular for the scholarship, there's no age limit. So if there's an older person that wants to reskill themselves, maybe they got redundant in their post and they want to reskill their self, they can apply for the scholarship as well. As it relates to the Eloise cash accounts, that is strictly for newborn Caymanians, starting with this year 2026. And as the foundation grows, we will look to, expanding these programs. But for now, for the Eloise cash account, it is for newborn Caymanian babies starting with the year 2026.
Okay. So the older folks, what would they apply on? What would they apply on the?
In what sense do you mean apply under?
The scholarship.
No, well, for the cash account, the older people cannot apply for that. But we also have other programs. We have other programs. They're listed on the website. One of those programs is like relief of poverty, relief of hardship. We have programs dealing with sports, culture, health and wellness. So, for example, if you have a need as an older individual, you can write me at jhides@caymaniansfirst.com. And once I receive that information, you describing what's going on and what your needs are, then I will look at that, and then I will sit with the board, and then we will take it from there.
Oh, but I talking about somebody what would like to expand their education.
Oh,
older.
Well, yes, you can do that. Older persons can do that. The application form is on our website. If you don't have access to the internet, you're free to call me. My number is 938-1960, and I'm happy to assist with that where I can, so that you can apply. Because like we said, we're not limiting the age, because we know there are older individuals who may want to reskill themselves, and we want to encourage that. We want to give Caymanians the best fighting opportunities so that they can share in the success of the Cayman Islands.
So is
Caymanians first, all together.
Yeah, one word. Okay.
Yeah, one word. No spacing.
Yeah, CaymaniansFirst.com.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem. I appreciate the call.
Like I said, I would like, as you already explained it, newborn Caymanians, this program is for.
Well,
that's the cash.
The Eloise cash. The Eloise cash is for newborn babies, Caymanian babies.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right,
No
you take
problem,
care.
sir.
Thanks for the call. So let's get into some of those that you were mentioning there, the other aspects of this program.
Yes.
So if someone needs help, especially an older person,
yes,
tell us about that.
Yes, so our bylaws cover various activities. So one of those activities is the relief of poverty. and relief of hardship. We have, culture, sports, wellness. All of those are part of our bylaws. So if an older person, or not even older, just say there's someone in a real dire strait, and for
because
example,
of
health, their home, like maybe they don't have electricity, they don't, a lot of things can be happening, because we know that there are Caymanians that are suffering and have hardship. That is one of the things that we will consider. We're not going to be doing it such as a handout, but we're going to be looking at cases that we can help you, that your lights don't get cut off the next month again. We want to set you up. So maybe if you come to us, say you come to us and your lights are off and you need some help to pay that, we would consider that. But in addition to that, we're going to say, well, why were your lights cut off? Is it because you don't have a job? So we will then try to not only help your current need of having lights, we would also look at your resume and try to see with different partners where we can help you to get a job so that you can actually pay your own bill going forward.
So you want to improve their general way of life.
Exactly. We don't want to just say, here's the money for your light bill. No, that's not what we're about. We're about helping Caymanians, but also setting them up to take advantage of the opportunities here, that they don't have to rely on an individual to pay their bills. And as I was mentioning to the gentleman that just called, this foundation and the board members, and I just wanted to mention as well, the chairman of the board is Mr. Richard Barton. Unfortunately, he's off island and couldn't be here today, so he sends his apologies. But this board believes that, or knows, we all know that the Cayman Islands is a very successful financial center. One of the problems we see is that the Caymanian people, are not always sharing in that success. And that's what our programs aim to do, to help Caymanians to better themselves, take advantage of opportunities, create businesses, do things, get certified, so that they can take a part of this success of what we call the Cayman Islands. That's what we're all about.
So you're offering educational support beyond what the scholarship to Miami did and so forth?
Like, for example, if there is a student that, say, they're already overseas and they're training to be a pilot, just use that as an example, and maybe they have a shortfall or limited of funds, we will consider that as well, because we know not everything is done in Miami-Dade, and there are people that are already on scholarships, but are not even necessarily on scholarships, but they're already overseas, and they may be having some difficulty. The parents may be having some difficulty helping to make ends meet while they're doing their training. Those are things that we will consider as well. What we consider as a part of the Skills for Success Scholarship is the needs of the workforce here in Cayman. That is what we're aiming to try to satisfy, because like I said before, they're saying that, we don't have Caymanians with certain criteria that can take certain positions. So
and it's no good being educated or trained in something that there's no profession here in Cayman.
Exactly. So those are the things that when we get the application, we have an evaluation process. We have a scholarship committee that will consider those applications and so forth, and that will be measured against the foundation's policy and procedures as it relates to the Skills for Success scholarship program. But one of the other programs I wanted to talk...
But before we start that, let's take a break.
Okay.
And then we come back and start, and we'll go into that.
Yeah, and I can get some water.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Let's hear it for your Wildcat cheerleaders.
Aunt Angie, weren't you a cheerleader? The best in the Western Hemisphere. Until I attempted that switch kick, double twist roundhouse. Huh? Exactly. I must have been in the air for 20 seconds before I fell into that snare drum. I set a world record, though, and thankfully I could trust the CG Medical Portal with my claims. All 37 of them.
The CG Medical Portal. Safe and secure. CG Brit-K. Good like that.
Are you ready to be inspired? Calling all marketers, creatives, and visionaries. Join SIMPA's 12th annual marketing conference, Level Up, Marketing's New Formula, happening April 17th and 18th at Hotel Indigo. Discover the latest trends in marketing innovation, sharpen your skills in hands-on workshops, and connect with global industry leaders who are changing the game. Plus, celebrate the best of Cayman's marketing and creative professionals at the SIMPA Awards Gala, honoring the brightest minds in the field. Don't miss out. Secure your tickets now at simpa.ky.
Brought to you by the Department of Tourism, Airview Media, DART, Health City, Compass Media, Armada Films, Signs of Paradise, Caribbean Creations, the Department of Communications, and Radio Cayman.
Attention all farmers, importers, exporters, and valued customers. The Department of Agriculture made an important upgrade to better serve you. Effective immediately, their main reception will be accepting card payments only for key services such as rabies vaccinations, import and export permits, farmers' ID cards, animal adoptions, and processing. No cash payments will be accepted for these services at reception. This change will provide a more efficient service for everyone. So, remember to bring your debit or credit card when visiting the Department of Agriculture. For more information, call 947-3090.
My earliest recollection when I was in high school is looking forward to Saturday mornings. Radio Cayman had my favorite show, the Top 15 Countdown. It was then hosted by Lomax Rankin and sponsored by Funky Tanks. A couple years later, I got a job there. I was able to host that same show all by myself. It would be a countdown of the 15 best-selling records on the island, one by one, till we get to the top. Those were the good old vinyl days. This is Alfred T.A. Radio Cayman. Want to wish you a happy 50th anniversary and keep on jamming till infinity and beyond.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we're learning about the Caymanians First Charitable Foundation, and we do have a caller. Good afternoon, you're on the air. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, Charlotte.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you guys, Miss Heights.
Good afternoon.
Yes, I'd just like to say, this is awesome what you all are doing, man.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I remember Mr. Seymour from 1985 in Georgetown, walking around in Georgetown, and he was starting his work. As a young Caymanian, Mr. Seymour has come very far in life.
Yes.
And it's good to see that he has put you in charge of this, because I know that you're a Caymanian who truly loves and cares for your Caymanian people.
Amen.
And I would like to say again, this is really awesome what you all are doing, helping people in the way that you are, and you all will only be blessed even more.
Yes.
For doing so.
Yes. Please encourage friends, family to visit the website, CaymaniansFirst.com. There's lots of opportunities available on that website, and we want as many Caymanians as possible to take advantage of those opportunities.
Okay. Thank you again, Ms. Heights.
All right. Thank you for the call. So what are some of the other programs within the foundation?
Yeah, so one of the other programs that we have, it's one that's called partnerships. We have under partnerships, we have where we will assist other local charities that have a similar focus of helping Caymanians, advancing Caymanians, have initiatives that will be geared towards Caymanians. We are willing to partner with them and offer them grants. So I hope the charities are listening today because we haven't forgot you as well. And as we know, a lot of these charities, like for example, the Red Cross, we have many, we have ARC, we have various charities that do different functions. Some do with wellness, some do with sports, because you have the academy and different sports charities that are out there and programs. So we want to align with various charities because we don't believe that things should be duplicated. We believe in providing resources so that we can have a greater impact in the Cayman community where more Caymanians will receive those benefits that are offered by other charities. And the other program that we have is one where we call, under the same partnership umbrella, is called Community Advocates. We will be working, and that's one of my main roles, is to find persons, leaders in the 19 constituencies that we have in the Cayman Islands. Because we know we have various leadership throughout the island that put on different functions, things for the elderly, Mother's Day events, Father's Day events, different sporting events, bringing down. One that comes to mind is the event that Noel Williams has where he brings down the gospel singers, things like that. So we're looking for leadership in the different constituencies. And as you can tell, we're not leaving out Cayman Brac or Little Cayman. Everybody, we want to touch the entire 3 islands. We want Caymanians to feel that there are people working for them. So when we identify these leaders will then come to us with a plan. What do they see wrong in their constituency? What does their constituency need? This could be unemployment is at a high. The constituency may not have a field, may not have a place for kids to go after school, these type of things. So we want these have to be leaders that are well diverse in their constituency, and they come and bring us a plan and show us what's wrong, what it's going to take to correct it and have an impact for Caymanians. And we are willing to work with those leaders as well to provide funding for certain initiatives. This is where we see that we can have a very big impact on the Cayman Islands and its people. As I said when I first was talking, we are not about words. We are about action. Those words, Caymanian first, they are living and breathing inside of us. And we are going to work to ensure that people can feel that. And I know a lot of Caymanians, they feel disheartened, but I want to encourage them to go onto our website, caymaniansfirst.com. We are not just saying words, Cayman. We really mean it, and we're putting them into action for you.
I listened to these really fantastic goals that you have. Mm-hmm. And I see a lot of dollars.
Yes.
This is all coming from Don Seymour?
He is the founder, and he is making the initial contribution to get the foundation started, yes.
So tell us about the governance of the foundation.
Well, each of our programs, we have various developed policies and procedures that govern our scholarship, Skills for Success Scholarship. There are policies and procedures there that have to be followed and there's an evaluation form to evaluate the merits of the applicant. The same thing goes for the LOE's cash account. There are policies and procedures around that, and we will have a regulated licensed administrator who is local regulated administrator who is going to be investing those monies in the LOE's cash account. As it relates, we have a board. And Mr. Seymour is the founder, and he's also a director on the board. Mr. Richard Barton, he's the chairman of the board. Miss Aline Keynes, who is here taking some lovely videos, she is a director as well, and I also am the supervisor and the CEO. So that is what we have at the moment regarding the board. But our intention is to also, not only are we going to do all these great things for Caymanians, we want to encourage Caymanians to contact us and volunteer as well, because we want to reach out and just do so many things. And as you know, with any foundation, the more volunteers you get, the better. Since the launch of this foundation, I have had several people reach out to me saying, hey, this sounds like a great initiative. I would really like to be a part of this. I would like to volunteer. I would, people who have skills, teachers, so forth, sports people, different people have been reaching out. So it's very exciting. And I can tell you, even though this is just the first week of the launch, I am excited to where this foundation is going to go. And I believe Caymanians are going to be, they're already excited, but I believe even more are going to be really excited as the word spreads out.
One of our listeners wanted you to repeat the address to write to you.
Okay. So it's jhides@caymaniansfirst.com.
Okay, that's an email address that will go straight to you.
Correct.
And what's the website address again?
The website is caymaniansfirst.com.
A message here. Let me see how fast I can read this, because we're running out of time. Good afternoon to you and your guests. I've been listening diligently to the show today, and I think that the Eloise Cash Account Initiative is such a wonderful opportunity for young Caymanian children, and I'm so happy that something like this is finally being made available. My daughter, however, was born in 2023 and isn't eligible under the current structure. Still, I'm a single Caymanian mother who wants to secure a better future for my child. I've been looking into different investment accounts for her, but the brokerage fees and everything else involved has been a hindrance. This program would be an amazing opportunity. Although I'm not wealthy by any means, I've saved some, and I'm in a position where I could personally invest. I'm in a position where I could personally invest the $1,000 for her, but I lack experience with the stock market and index. I'm wondering if you have any exceptions or pathways is to take advantage of that.
Yeah. So this was one of the things that we as a board have talked about, because we know that there were going to be a lot of Caymanians that, were born previously to 2026. And what we are considering eventually, not at this moment, but is something similar to what your listener shared, that she has a daughter that was born before. So as the program grows, I can't give a definitive answer on that, because it's a board decision to be made. But we would look into, say, parents who had children born before, if they want an account, they could establish one. So that's something we will consider in the future. But for now, it is just newborn Caymanians 2026. But like I said, send me I encourage your listeners, send me an email, and you
can see what you could do.
Yeah, send an email, even if it's advice.
Yeah,
we might not be able to give you an account for your child, but we could offer advice, because I have been in the financial industry a long time. Mr. Seymour has definitely been in the industry for a while. So, Sometimes all a person needs is some guidance and advice. So I encourage them to reach out, and we will be happy to, give them sit and talk with them and provide them with some guidance.
Jewel Hides, the Chief Executive Officer and Supervisor of the Caymanians' first charitable foundation. Thank you so much for coming in and telling us about this. This sounds like a fantastic initiative, and I hope those people that are listening take advantage of it.
Yes, thank you so much for having me as well. This has truly been an honor to come here and sit with you. I'm used to listening to you on the radio, but I think this is the first time I've actually come and sit on the show with you. And I just want to close once again by saying to Caymanians out there, please go to our website, CaymaniansFirst.com. There is something there for everyone. And once again, we are not just saying Caymanians first. We are putting those words into action. And thank you so much.
It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
It's time to see what's making headlines.
We are Radio Cayman,
covering Cayman Right, Little Cayman, and Grand Cayman.
1 in a million. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
Headline news, I'm Jevi Ebanks from the Radio Cayman newsroom. The Grand Court has sentenced Franklin Raphael Orrit to 46 months for robbery and possessing an offensive weapon. Orrit stole $170 from a West Bay shop after threatening the owner with a metal bar. He fled but was chased by the owner and bystanders, losing a shoe that later provided decisive DNA evidence. Justice the Honorable Cheryl Richards KC set the final sentence after weighing his criminal history, mental health issues, and risk of reoffending. Tune into Radio Cayman's 6 p.m. news for more details on the sentencing of Franklin Raphael Orrit. In regional news, Trinidad police have detained a man following the fatal jet ski crash that killed 7-year-old Angelica Joji at the Pigeon Point Heritage Park. The child was in a designated bathing area with relatives when an out-of-control jet ski entered the area. Her father remains in hospital. Tobago's chief secretary has urged the jet ski operator who fled the scene to surrender. The park is closed while the investigation continues. The Bahamas Parliament has dissolved ahead of the 12th of May general election. Commissioner Police Shanta Knowles read the proclamation from Governor General Dame Cynthia Pratt, confirming the dissolution took effect on the 8th of April. PLP Chairman Fred Mitchell says election writs will be issued on Thursday. Outgoing MP Leroy Major will run as an independent after not being renominated. Both major parties have rallies planned this weekend. That's your latest headlines from the Radio Cayman newsroom. I'm Jevi Ebanks.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter. Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. Let's see what's going on with the weather. It's 84 degrees here in Georgetown. It feels like 91. The wind out of the northeast at 7.5 knots, and the forecast is calling for partly cloudy skies for the rest of the afternoon and into tonight with winds out of the northeast at 5 to 10 knots and seas smooth with wave heights less than 2 feet, and the sun sets at 6:40 this evening. Well, isn't that a really fantastic thing? The Caymanians First Charitable Foundation. That is a fantastic initiative taken by Don Seymour and everyone involved in it. And if you listen to the whole thing, I mean, there's so many different aspects that it is covering. One of the things that was really great, I thought, was the scholarship was, for all ages. There's no age limit, and that is really a gift for any person of middle age that finds themselves that they need to reskill themselves, and perhaps things have changed in their life. Change is like every day in Cayman, right? There's always like something going on as far as development and job opportunities. But there's a chance, for people to be able to reskill themselves, go off on a new career. And for the young people, take advantage of that. Take advantage of it. Once you get that education, that's your ticket. And yes, I know sometimes we run into that glass ceiling, as they would call it. And even though you got your certificate, you're finding out that maybe progress is not as quick as you thought it should be, or what it should be, and you run into barriers. But if you got that paper, that will open doors, and that is also another aspect of this Caymanians First Charitable Foundation, not only to give you the opportunity to get an education, but on your return, they will also be involved in, making sure that there are job opportunities for you to take advantage of. So, hats off to Don Seymour. Yep. Sounds like a fantastic program there, and I think it can only go to great places with that. We have a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hello, I have to call you back,
Yeah, man. It's open line now. You can talk about anything.
Yeah, I said that program that she or her and Don coming up with. I know Don Seymour personally.
Mm-hmm.
I met him down at Ritz-Carlton when they first started the Ritz, and I think he gave me my first. Yeah, I remember that, man, and I didn't have a full week, but I was very happy with what he paid me that afternoon. Yeah, that Friday afternoon. So, but I always had a good respect for him and all the Seymour family, But another thing again with this yellow, all these opportunities and things like that, I never really had them when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
But I had opportunities. I had opportunities as well that I could have done better with, The thing is, when she spoke about refrigeration, electrician, and carpentry, especially finished carpentry, this is where the money is on those jobs there today. The fact still remains, are the young Caymanians prepared to go out in the sun? Don't care about the opportunities you get. It's not going to be no good to you unless you are prepared to make certain sacrifices in your life.
That's true. I mean, nobody said it was going to come easy, right?
Yeah, Chalo, but these chances, these opportunities that she's talking about, hey, this is a good thing, man. This is a good thing. When the brother spoke about it should be only for Caymanians, I don't really see that happening either.
Well, I think Don Seymour is very serious about it. Let me see if I can find the quote in here that in this press release. The gist of it was that he was saying Caymanians first, like with no apologies.
Yeah.
You know, he's not holding back on what the goal of the foundation is.
Yeah.
So I think he takes that name of Caymanians first very serious.
Well, you know, to make that happen, it really, I don't see it really coming from the politicians alone.
Well, you know, the politicians don't have anything to do with this.
Yeah, well, I've heard them talk about it. But to me, it seems like it needs help. It needs a lot of help to make sure that the Caymanians get first. You understand? And another thing again about the elders now, I don't think really that I could do it because of my medical conditions at my age now, right?
What, to reskill yourself?
Yes. But because all them trades there, I have worked in all those trades.
Mm-hmm.
And I love those trades, you understand? But I don't think it could work out for me with my medical conditions or anything like that. But God bless whoever comes forth, young Caymanians. If you're not too old, then pick it up. Pick it up, you know?
Yeah, I hope people take advantage of it.
Another thing is for that again, what I see going on here today, Caymanian elders might have a hard time to really get some work, say in their 70s and things like that.
Yeah.
They prefer to bring in workers, elder workers.
Well,
to bring them here.
You heard what
rather than giving the Caymanian the work.
You heard what Ms. Hydes was saying, that it's not just about paying your light bill for you, but it's improving your situation that is making you not be able to pay the light bill, right? And they want to improve your situation. So they're there to...
They can't force people to hire you neither.
No, but there's something called influence.
Well, Chalo, you know, I wish them all the best with this.
Yeah. Certainly.
I hope I live to hear that it's working for somebody out there. And somebody else want to talk to. So again, Chalo, I must say congratulations to Gloria McField, man.
Indeed.
I know this person personally. And I must say, Chalo, in my lifetime, she's one of the finest Caymanian young women that I have ever talked to, my friend.
I don't think you'll find any argument there.
God bless her. God bless her on the rest of her journey, man. Okay, I talk to you later.
Take care.
Bye.
We have another caller. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Hello, you're on the air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chalo.
Good afternoon.
How you doing today?
I'm fine, and you?
I guess I should keep the name Poet Laureate.
Well, you got a poem for us?
Oh no, not right now. I haven't done anything since short story.
Okay, the inspiration hasn't hit.
But I want to congratulate Mistress Gloria McField Nixon as well, and also say some good things about this organization and all those involved. I think it's a real good thing. And our communities always need heroes. You know.
Very true.
And, oh yeah. And I would encourage. I mean, if I could encourage other people, you know, that have the ability to do some more good things, which I still believe that it will be done. There's always good people that do good things for the communities and stuff like that. And this is an excellent thing that's happening. And like I said, I would. It makes me happy to hear that sort of thing. You know.
Yeah, I think we're all happy to hear it. It's very encouraging that Don Seymour has stepped up to do this.
Oh yeah, Mr. Seymour is definitely doing a very good thing. Him and the other good folks, and I look forward to seeing some great stuff happening in Cayman, and I think it's a good time to be in the Cayman Islands. Good time to be a Caymanian.
All right. Great attitude. Great attitude. Well,
Yes,
thank you
sir.
so much for the call.
Okay, sir.
You take care. Have a good afternoon. Here's the quote that I was looking for. This was in the press release. Our goal is to create real pathways, not just promises for Caymanians, said founder Don Seymour. We make no apologies for putting Caymanians first. That is our mission. That is our promise. We need to take a break. Callers, hang in there for me. Be right back.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Saturday, April 18th, will be the gathering of the future. The gathering of budding scientists, budding botanists, budding engineers, budding medical specialists, marine biologists, systems architects, and much, much more. The Rotary Central Dr. Bill Rudy Science Fair will be at the Arc Commander Bay, 8 a.m. to 12 noon. The gathering of the future. Students from over 15 schools across Cayman. Save the date, April 18th. The Rotary Central Dr. Bill Rudy Science Fair, sponsored by CUC, supported by the Cayman Motor Federation. Sign up today. RotaryScienceFair.ky. The future is sparking.
The Miss Cayman Islands organization, formerly known as the Miss Cayman Islands Committee, is looking for the new Miss Cayman 2026 that will represent us at the Miss Universe pageant in November. If you are a woman 18 and older, disciplined, respectful, intellectual, with leadership qualities, then this is the platform for you. Please email misscaymaninfo@gmail.com to receive your application and be a part of this new era.
Hello, Cayman. This is George. From April 1976, I've been tuned in, listening in, and calling in to Radio Cayman from the first time, the initial broadcast, and continue up until today. So I want to congratulate Radio Cayman and the whole entire staff.
Hold on a little bit longer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we do have a couple of callers, so let's go straight to the phone lines. Good afternoon, you're on the air.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Charles.
Yes, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing good. You know, I was just listening to your last program there, Miss Jewel Hydes, and
You came on
really
first.
like to thank her. Yeah, came on first.
Caymanians first, I should say.
Caymanians, yes, Caymanians first. Sorry, that program I believe is very necessary on this island for especially those who do not have those kind of tech savvy credentials, that they can have a program that could at least assist them in getting these things, I'd like to say something on one of the last things you mentioned on one of your callers, the last callers, with the encouraging and maybe it's influence by influence. You said that we could encourage people on our island for a drastic change that is necessary, because if we are planning on, and I'm not talking foolishness, this is what I respect about this show, that we don't talk foolishness. And in order for us to adapt to the new world order, we must first learn how to take care of ourselves. And I think that we've been left behind 20 years ago, and we're trying to catch back. And I think we're doing a very good job with the steps that we're taking right now. It's better start from now than never. So with everything that is going on in the world, and us as a little small society trying to take care of ourselves, I don't see us doing half bad at all. And I'd also like to say, when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, I had the opportunity to join the junior achievement when I was in high school, and that was the most beautiful program in my eyes in school, to teach the children, to teach the youth how to start their own business. About 15 or 16 years now later, I'm here still pursuing what I was dreaming of doing when I was in school, planting trees and selling them. I don't think that's a bad idea at all, especially in the economy that we're living in now, that way we have to start growing our own food. And I think that was the best decision that I've made. So I'd like to keep encouraging people when I see them, if they have a dream, like to keep going at it. And no matter what people say, really, they might look at it as a very small idea because it's not them that's thinking about it, it's you. And that's your dream, not anyone else's dream. So
yeah, we need trees.
Definitely, sir. We need ornamental trees, fruit trees, any kind of trees that we could think of. We need them. Look, if we're going to wipe out mangroves because we can't eat them, at least plant trees in replace of them that we can.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got to say, not concrete houses and structures that we don't really need. All right.
Do they still have junior achievement? Do you know? Is that still around?
Sir, that's a good question. I have not been involved in school since 2010, and I would like to start again if I had the opportunity. But really and truly, I think that if they did have that program, that's a great thing. Still going.
All right. Well, thank you for calling. You have a good afternoon.
All right. Have a good day. All right.
And we have another person on the line here. No more calls. But this Caymanian's first charitable foundation, a fantastic idea, and it's so multifaceted. Also, it's not just concentrating on one area. On the one hand, they're offering young people scholarships to get a trade or higher education, and even the elderly are included. Elderly support, promoting dignity, independence, and community connection for our seniors in the community. And we do have another caller on the line, so let's go to the phones. Good afternoon, you're on the air.
Yeah, it's me again.
You again, okay.
How's your day going?
Just fine. The cool breeze blowing your way down there?
Actually, I'm in town right now. It's
okay.
Not so pleasant as you might know. It's a bit warm, but that's okay. I can always take the exit.
The heat is on.
Exactly. Yeah. There's something I want to mention when we talking yesterday about the Bacchus area.
Mm-hmm.
You got an email or a text from someone.
Yeah,
saying
text.
that Mr. Dart owns practically the whole thing, if I understood you right.
Yeah, I took it that it was the beach side.
Yeah, well, we got access to the beach. So, however, I don't want to be any closer to the beach. And what I want to say is not being big Mr. Me or arrogant or too big to be told. But I got practically just about an acre. That's okay. I got some buildings on top of it, and I'm fine.
That's a good piece of land.
Yeah, as a Caymanian that worked the world in the merchant marines, and what I accomplished was blood, sweat, and tears. Where I am right now had me to accomplish what I got, and it is so disheartening that when we talk about money, how much money people got. Of course, everybody needs money, but Charlo, how much is enough? How much money is enough? You know, money can't buy happiness. I am extremely happy where I'm located, and that's where I'm going to be.
Well, that's what counts. You know,
Hey,
they say U.S. Bears are the happiest people in the Cayman Islands.
right, and I'm not going to change it for 7 Mile Beach, wherever, Cayman Bay or anything. And it's absolutely not for sale. That means when I say not for sale, with all due respect to Mr. Dart, he don't have enough money to buy my property. If I consider it properly, I don't think he have enough money to pay the stamp duty, so it's not for sale. Okay, that's a ring a bell in somebody's ears. So have a pleasant afternoon. We'll talk soon again, all right?
All right,
Sure.
you take care. Good to hear from you. Not for sale. Well, you know, that's a good position to be in. You are comfortable. You're happy where you are, and if you got an acre of land, that's a good plot of land to have. You know, you're sitting on something that, what was that ad? Was it Selkirk Watler had that slogan about underneath all is land? So you got land, you got something that is there, and you know, it keeps increasing in value, especially here in Cayman. It's always seems if you can hold on to, you know, real estate, your net worth keeps improving year by year. And as that gentleman was saying, you know, he's happy where he is. You know, he doesn't want to move to any gated community or anything like that. He's happy on his acre of land in Barcas, and it's not for sale. You know, if you can get to that point in life, hey, you're doing good, because you know, some people are always looking to get a notch up, and you know, nothing wrong with that, right? But it's what makes you feel happy, because that's what counts. Because a lot of people that have a lot of money still can't find that happiness, right? Still looking for that thing that is missing in their life. And I just want to remind you before I go, if you want to have more information about the Caymanians First Charitable Foundation, you can visit their website. And the website is CaymaniansFirst.com. That's all you need, all together, one word, CaymaniansFirst.com, and you can get all the information there. Well, it is coming up on 2:30. That means I have to skedaddle out of here. Thank you all for tuning in, and thank you all for calling. I'm Charles Glidden. One love.
Talk Today is brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066.